Hey everyone, what is good? My name is Rag, and today I'm really excited to share my first YouTube video where I will be talking about life post graduation and what to do if you're feeling lost and directionless. But first, let me tell you my story. Graduation is supposed to be a significant milestone for anyone's life, and for me, it was exciting and nervous simultaneously. And I thought this would end the university chapter and mark the beginning of another chapter, something that would seem incredible. And I didn't realize that life post graduation would feel so uncertain. Little did I realize that the life I knew and cherished in an environment that I was comfortable for years, the routines I've been practicing for years, would suddenly no longer exist in my life within a few months. And that just threw me with like a huge question that what now? What's next? Do I get a job? Should I just apply to grad school? Or should I just figure things out as they go? And to avoid such a situation, I started job hunting back in early January 2024, and I also simultaneously applied to grad school as a backup. But deep down, I told myself that I was not interested in studying my field more deeply or like pursue more research in it. By the way, my bachelor's degree was in material science and engineering, which is basically the study of materials, its properties, and processing the materials for real-world applications using the principles of math, physics, and chemistry. And so after a few months, my luck didn't go well on the job hunt. After like putting in like hundreds of applications and then getting ghosted and not hearing back from employers, I immediately had to turn to grad school, just applying to grad school as like just targeting like the few good universities that's really compatible for my program. And so that's what I did and got admitted into good universities, including the likes of UCLA, Georgia Tech, and University of Michigan. And I was like deeply thrilled because they're pretty good universities for engineering, material science specifically. I was thinking to myself, maybe I could go to UCLA. I'd still be in California, I'd still be within the comfort zone of doing similar activities with my friends, and I wouldn't have to worry about a thing. It's just going back to school again for like 2 more years, and then maybe I would be ready to face another adventure potentially in my life and probably see how things would go from there. But just a month before graduation, I just reflected on my decision. Like after accepting UCLA's offer, I was just sitting down and telling myself, if this is what I genuinely wanted for me, I did what I probably wouldn't do as a last resort, and I pulled the plug. I decided to withdraw my application. It just left me in a huge mess, leaving me no choice but to actually think about, now what the hell am I gonna do with my life? And I think the only thing that was left for me was to move back home to Michigan to live with my family, and then potentially working in my family's automotive business. And I thought that seemed like a good place to begin with because I had potential interest in entering the business world rather than remaining in the technical world. And I wanted to leverage my business persona and thought that this would be a good opportunity to start while gaining downtime that I could work on the side as to what else can I do that can be more fulfilling towards my purpose in life. And so life after graduation doesn't seem as straightforward as what most people would assume. Sometimes people are tasked with decisions that might seem challenging, and they might seem afraid of making those decisions because they seem hard at the moment and they're not sure what effect it can have on them on the long term. And I'll just say that it's okay if you don't have all the answers figured out right after graduation. Nobody does. Because I kept bouncing from decision to decision, and it left me to me being where I am currently in my life. But along the journey, I have learned 3 important lessons that I believe you all can take away from if you're still feeling lost and directionless post graduation. Number 1, as previously mentioned, you don't have to have everything figured out yet. Life post graduation can seem messy for most people, especially during that transition phase. And they often develop a mindset that they're either failing or they're behind in life while people they know are surpassing them, and they feel the need they need to act sooner than later. And I'm gonna say that's perfectly all right, because you're actually trying to search for something meaningful and something you could potentially provide value to other people in your life. So what you really want to do is to sit down in like a quiet area, probably one that's away from all distractions, and really reflect on what truly excites you the most, like what makes you feel more alive. And if you'd had to do one thing first thing in the morning when you wake up, what would that be? And obviously, like, you can reflect on this, you can even journal about it. And it's not easy to do it at first sight. It's going to take a lot of time and patience to do so. But once you start to do that, like once you start to identify what truly drives you the most, things will slowly start to fall in place for you, and you'll also be able to identify a path that more closely aligns with you. Second, don't underestimate the power of stepping out of your comfort zone. Now, I know you hear this often, but sometimes it's important to confront that uncertainty, take risks, and even pushing yourself into situations that may feel unfamiliar. By doing this, you're giving yourself the chance to learn, adapt, and even discover strengths that you didn't know you had in yourself. I personally think this can be truly transformative for your growth. In the beginning, I know it may seem uncomfortable to start following that. For me, it was moving to a new city, and it was really hard for me to navigate within the first 2 months post-graduation. However, it taught me to not be afraid of trying new skills, along with building new values and new relationships. It wasn't easy, and honestly, I'm still learning to adjust to the shift. There are moments when that post-grad anxiety creeps in, and I sometimes question myself if I even really made the right call to leave California to start a chapter in a new city. That post-grad anxiety, sometimes it never let me focus on activities I wanted to pursue in the present. And I want to share with you 2 habits that have personally helped me overcome that post-grad anxiety. One is meditation, and the second one is reading. Meditation gave me that space to process my own thoughts and basically allowed me to exist in the present moment. Reading, on the other hand, provided me new perspectives on various skills, broadened my knowledge base, boosted my career prospects, and ultimately reminding myself that I am not alone in this journey. I can't express enough how much these habits have been anchors for my growth, helping me navigate that uncertainty into entering a new phase of my life. And finally, even if you're unsure about your decisions, just take action. Whether it's applying for a job, going to grad school, moving to a new place, or saying yes to an opportunity that may scare you, just start. I get it. It can feel overwhelming. I've been there. I kept changing my mind, worrying and overthinking about every single decision I made in college until I came across this quote from a book titled The Mountain Is You by Brianna Waste. I'm gonna read you this quote. Fear isn't going to protect you. Action is. Worrying isn't going to protect you. Preparing is. Overthinking isn't going to protect you. Understanding is. That quote hit me hard because progress doesn't come from you sitting in fear. It comes from the action you take and moving forward in your journey. It can feel nervous for many people to take that leap. So don't be afraid to take that leap because you don't have to have everything figured out right after graduation. But you do need to take the first step in any decision you make that, even if you're uncertain, is going to be a successful choice or not. Just take the leap. There are many opportunities out there for you, and there's always room for learning from your mistakes because you always grow from your failures. Remember, your journey is yours alone. It's natural to feel lost and get caught up in a world where people are often comparing themselves and their progress to the ones who are much ahead in life. But the truth is, the comparison only steals your happiness and distracts you from the incredible progress you're making in your own path. By taking things one step at a time, you're allowing yourself to set small, meaningful goals that align with who you are and who you want to become in life. Even if the path seems uncertain right now, trust that with hard work, patience, and consistency, you will find what you're looking for. Growth often doesn't exist at the moment, but every single step taken will lead you much closer to where you're meant to be in life. And so, life post-graduation might feel scary and overwhelming, but that's part of its own beauty because it's your time to explore, learn, and create a life that feels more meaningful to you. So don't rush the process. Be kind to yourself, stay focused on your own journey, and trust that everything will fall into place when the time is right. Keep moving forward, and most importantly, have faith in yourself. You got this. I believe in you. If you made it this far, I truly appreciate and value your time spent here. If you like this video, please consider leaving a like, dropping a comment to share your story with people who might be struggling with the same issue, and subscribing to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.